It is 3 a.m. and you are awake. You stare at the ceiling. You tell yourself something is wrong with you. But the real answer is far stranger than insomnia, and it has been waiting inside your body for thousands of years. You are not broken. You are remembering. Tonight you believe sleep is supposed to be one solid block. 8 hours, unbroken, start to finish. You lie down, you disappear, you wake up. That is the rule. And when you snap awake in the dead middle of the night, you panic. You reach for your phone. You count the hours you have left. You feel the dread of a ruined morning. But your ancestors would not have understood your panic at all. For most of human history, no one expected to sleep through the night. Waking in the dark was not a failure. It was the design. A historian named Roger E. Kirk spent years buried in old letters, diaries, court records, and medical books. He was not even looking for sleep. He was studying the night itself. And buried in those documents, he kept finding the same strange phrase, written casually, as if everyone already knew what it meant. First sleep. People wrote about their first sleep ending. They wrote about waking, doing things, and then returning to their second sleep. It was everywhere. In English, in French, in Italian, in old stories and prayers and prescriptions. A whole vocabulary for something we have completely forgotten. So what did people do in that gap between the two sleeps? Almost everything. They got up and tended the fire. They prayed. They talked quietly to the person lying beside them. They visited neighbors. Some read, some made love. Some simply lay still and let their minds drift in a calm, half-lit state. Doctors of the time even advised couples that this middle waking was the best moment for intimacy because the body was rested and the mind was loose. The night had two halves and the seam between them was a soft, sacred space. Then something changed, and it changed fast. When artificial light spread through cities, the night shrank. Street lamps turned darkness into something you could push back. Coffee houses stayed open. Evening became a time to be productive, social, awake. Bedtime crept later and later, and the long, layered night slowly collapsed into one compressed block of unconsciousness. Within a few generations, the memory of two sleeps was gone. Not just gone, erased so completely that when you wake at 3 a.m. now, you think you are the one who is malfunctioning. But here is where it gets stranger. Scientists decided to test whether the old pattern still lived inside us. A researcher named Thomas Ware ran an experiment that sounds almost cruel in its simplicity. He took a group of people and gave them long nights. 14 hours of darkness every night for weeks. No screens, no lamps, no artificial day stretching into the evening. Just the kind of darkness your ancestors actually lived in. At first, the volunteers slept in one long, exhausted heap, paying off a debt of modern tiredness. But then something ancient woke up. After a few weeks, their sleep split in two. They would fall asleep, sleep for about 4 hours, then wake. They would lie peacefully awake for 1 or 2 hours in the middle of the night. And then they would drift into a second sleep until morning. No one told them to do this. Their bodies simply remembered. And during that quiet waking window, Vare noticed something remarkable in their blood. Their levels of prolactin, a hormone linked to deep calm and contentment, rose and stayed high. The volunteers described the feeling not as anxious wakefulness, but as a kind of meditative peace, a stillness most modern people have never tasted. Think about that for a moment. The exact experience you treat as a disorder, your body produces a hormone to make pleasant. So why does the same waking feel like torture to you? The difference is not the waking, it is the meaning you wrap around it. Your ancestor woke into a warm, expected, ordinary pause. You wake into fear. You check the time. You calculate your losses. You tell yourself the morning is already ruined. And that surge of stress is what actually keeps you up, not the waking itself. The biologist and sleep scientist Russell Foster has spent his career studying how light controls the clock inside your brain. Deep in your head sits a tiny cluster of cells that reads light and decides when you should feel awake and when you should feel sleepy. For your entire evolutionary history, The only strong light it ever saw was the sun and the soft flicker of fire. Then you handed it a glowing rectangle. Every night you press a screen against your face. Bright blue-tinged, sun-like light pours into those ancient cells, and your brain reads a simple message. It is daytime. Stay alert. Hold off the rest. You are not just shortening your sleep, you are scrambling the very clock that decides when sleep should come and how it should be shaped. Your body is trying to run a program written over millions of years. You are feeding it signals it has never seen before in all that time. And then you blame yourself when it stutters. But the deeper truth is not about technology at all. The deeper truth is about a story you were handed without ever questioning it. The story that says rest must be one unbroken block, and any crack in it is a defect. You inherited that story from factories and clocks and the long march toward efficiency. 8 hours, neat and contained, so you can be productive tomorrow. Sleep became one more thing to optimize, measure, and feel guilty about. Your ancestors had no such story. For them, the night was not a problem to be solved. It was a place you entered and moved through in stages, with a waking room in the middle where the mind could wander and the soul could breathe. Have you ever noticed what your thoughts do in that 3 a.m. silence? They go somewhere your daytime mind cannot reach. Worries soften into strange clarity. Old memories surface. Ideas connect in ways they never do in the noise of the day. For centuries, people treated that exact window as a time for reflection, for prayer, for the quiet untangling of the heart. Dream researchers have even suggested that this middle waking once let people sit with their dreams while they were still fresh, turning the night into a kind of conversation with the deeper self. You have been taught to slam the door on that room. You wake, you feel the ancient pull towards stillness, and you fight it. You force your eyes shut. You scold yourself. You reach for the screen that scrambles your clock even further. You take the one moment your ancestors found sacred, and you turn it into a battle you are sure you are losing. But what if you are not losing anything? What if the waking is not the enemy? Imagine, just once, treating 3 a.m. the way they did. You wake. You do not check the time. You do not panic. You let yourself rest in the dark, awake but unbothered, knowing a second sleep is still waiting for you. You let your mind drift wherever it wants to go. You trust the ancient pattern instead of fighting it. The fear dissolves. And without the fear, the second sleep comes easily, the way it always did. This does not mean every sleepless night is secretly a gift. Real exhaustion is real. The grinding insomnia born of stress and overwork and glowing screens is a genuine modern wound. But a great deal of the suffering around it comes not from the waking, but from the terror of the waking. From a story that told you a normal, ancient human experience is a sign that something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are carrying the night inside you exactly as your ancestors did. The same hormone of calm still rises in the dark. The same quiet window still opens. The same soft seam between two sleeps is still stitched into your body, waiting even if you have been taught to tear straight through it. So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., remember what that moment really is. It is not a malfunction, it is an inheritance. It is 3 a.m. and you are awake. And for the first time, you understand that you were never broken at all. You were only remembering something the whole world forgot.